Righto, welcome back, guys, and welcome in. We're gonna have some grub here in a second. Feeling kind of anxious, feeling kind of off. We're gonna discuss um, some stuff and some things. Give me a second. Let me get this poll going. Our usual, and then we'll go from there. We'll be discussing what we do when the music stops, right? There's not really much we can do, and our plans kind of go awry. I have a rough time with that. And then I kind of set myself aside and don't do what's good for me. So we're going to start right there. That's part of the solution, the biggest solution. Part of the solution. That is the solution. The solution is I can't even talk right now. Let's get some food in us. We'll chat a little bit about what we do when the music stops. When things don't work out exactly the way we had planned them, and we have to change up the game plan a little bit. And it's kind of been the theme of this last trip, right? It's kind of just rolling with the punches. And again, here we are rolling with the punches, right? But the good news is we made it home. I made it home safe. And I'm at my favorite Chinese place here in Cicero, New York. China Walk. My absolute favorite fried dumplings. We can have a meal together and relax. Let that cool off a little bit. Probably start with the fortune cookie, but yeah, I let it go too long. Self-care, right? That's the cure. Not allow our expectations to get in the way of taking care of ourselves. For me, I do that a bit when it doesn't work out exactly the way that I think it should. I kind of hesitate on everything, and then that's not healthy. So sitting there at the house, not sure what to do, because the big plan of the day kind of went sideways. So I decided to take care of myself. Come out and get some fried dumplings. Have a nice conversation with you guys. Be thankful and hopeful to push forward and do the next right thing to the best of my ability, which in this moment is taking care of myself. Knowing that there's nothing I can do about the big game plan at this moment, right? The big game plan is to start this painting company, and that's where I was at today after saying goodbye to my brother who dropped me off. We made it in about 1 o'clock in the morning last night. He had to turn around and rush back to Indiana to get with the little one, back to my niece that his mom's taking care of, and that's some heaviness too, right? That on top of these expectations of being able to get this marketing strategy rolling with the painting company now that I'm back in New York, and Randy not being in the real mindset to do so, and him taking a day and going up to the Adirondacks kind of threw a wrench into what I thought I would be doing, and I started to hesitate for a minute. Started to feel a little bit overwhelmed. Part of that is not taking care of myself. I haven't really eaten anything substantial today. And the other part of that is what do we do when the music stops, right? Hence the theme of the day. What do we do when things don't go the way that we expect them to go, and we're not sure what to do next? Well, we'll resort back to the old reliable and take care of ourselves. And I'm doing so by getting my favorite meal. No, huh? Well, if you're saying no, please. Help us, help you, help me, right? I get it. I'm kind of on the fence whether I'd answer yes or no about that survey today as well. How's it doing? Milo, it's good to see you. Welcome in. I am kind of on the edge of doing okay and not okay at the moment, to be honest with you. Started feeling a little anxious, a little overwhelmed, right? I'm at home, the music stops, I don't have this thing to run towards. I had this game plan to keep going towards this other thing, and that's not going to work. But instead of just sitting there and allowing this to start to overwhelm me and make all the excuses, it costs too much money to drive this bus around. I don't know what I want, and this and that and the other thing. I got up, put gas in the goddamn truck, and I got moving forward. We're here in Cicero at China Walk in Sweetheart Corners, having some awesome fried dumplings, right? Treat yourself. That's step one. Take care of you, right? You start to get into that hesitated space. I'm trying to take my medicine right now to take care of me. How are you? I'm Fat Ma. Fat Ma, we're doing all right. Like I said, maybe on the precipice a little bit of not, feeling a little anxious. I think part of that has to do with hunger. Part of that has to do with this long trip finally coming to an end and hitting the goal, which is getting home, and then immediately having another goal and that not working out. But taking it easy on myself. Decided to have this live with you guys and reflect a little bit. It's 12 midnight where you're at? It is about, I think, like 4 o'clock where I'm at. Thank you for the like. And yeah, slow and steady, nice and easy today. And if you answered no, you're not doing all right today, feel free to chime in. That's what we're here for. I was on the edge of not doing all right. I decided to take that action to take care of myself. And if you are okay, maybe let us know how you stay in that place. It's okay, whatever place you're in. If you're not feeling all right, it's not feeling okay, we could work on that. You could let it go. You could say something. You can not. It doesn't matter. It's about Smith 402. Yes, it's about 402 where I'm at as well. If you're anywhere near Cicero, New York, China Walk has the best fried dumplings. I highly recommend it. Down. New bus. We had the bus since before the last trip, but I took the car. And now we're going to be reliant on the bus. Since we had to junk the car while we were down in Georgia. Check out my car, the Galactic Avenger, the playlist. See how that thing took us all the way to Key West and back, Indiana, Georgia. And even on this last trip, we got to get down and see Crank and, nice. Yeah, I mean, it gets 8 miles to the gallon, but it's pretty nice. How was the drive? Was long and tedious. About 7 hours of that drive is on a live from yesterday. I'll call Tara back here in a little bit. Just me and Rob enjoying our time. He had to turn around and actually drive back. So he's on his way back to Indiana right now because his mom's still healing up from her elbow surgery, Sally, and he wanted to get back there and alleviate the babysitting of my 1-year-old niece. We didn't really want to take her and have to subjugate her to a 12, 13-hour drive and then turn around and drive back. So did you buy scratchers? We didn't end up stopping and buying scratchers. I did mention it and we were going to, but best of intentions, right? Are you here in New York State as well? Same day drive back. Nice fella. Well, it was an 11. It ended up taking us about 13 hours. We got in at about 2 in the morning. So, but yeah. Sometimes it's the simplest things that can help us out the most. I really needed a hot meal, comfort meal as well, something to kind of ease my transition back into being at home, and also to find acceptance for what is. Because when there's momentum in our lives, it feels good. We're distracted. We're focused. We have this thing to do, and trip up here was great, right? We're focused on this thing. We're doing this thing together. We're pushing forward. It's a little bit of a tedious drive, but getting back up here and then today not working out exactly the way I'd expect, had me feeling some type of way. But we take the big dog's advice and push forward to the best of our ability, right? And do something. Get up and do something with yourself, and that feeling of uselessness will leave you. That's how Anase's great advice. And I think he had something there. Today was JK's birthday. Well, happy JK. Happy birthday, JK. So, yeah, if you're out there struggling with change, if you're struggling with what to do and you're not sure, start simple. Take care of yourself. If you can get out, get out. Go get yourself some comfort food. I recommend some fried dumplings from a good Chinese place. My personal favorite. Maybe some pizza. Whatever else. And rewrite the game plan, because it's going to be all right. Yeah, it's all going to be all right. How's everybody else doing out there in YouTube land? It looks like we got 50% of our 40, 60, so more of us doing okay than most of us so far that have answered the survey, which is good to see. But yeah, if you have a problem letting go, You deal with anxiety, stress, depression, grief, addiction. You know, these are all things that can weigh us down. And it's funny. All these things can kind of be set aside when the music's playing, when we're focused on the big picture, when we've got something to strive for. It's so easy for me to, you know, to be distracted and be on my way and be doing the thing. That as soon as I'm not doing the thing, I start getting anxious. I have a extra wallet with some USDT. I have seeds, phrase. I don't know what that means. But that's cool, Whatever you got going on, good for you. Feel free to double tap that screen. Yeah. And I figured since I was up here getting myself some food, I had a decent signal. We could have a nice chat for a while. Give me a reminder for myself. Yeah. Do it for me. Do it for you today. You know, if you're out there and you're not sure and it seems like the music stopped, get up and get moving. Find some kind of sense of purpose in doing something for yourself, even if you got to bribe yourself. I highly recommend it. And if you're not holding together too well out there, feel free to express yourself in any way you see fit. Let us know what's going on or don't. Join the conversation. To know, you know, whatever you are in this moment is accepted. Accepted this moment. God. It's been a long trip. I'm feeling the weight for sure. Getting back a little bit off, a little bit anxious, but that's okay. It is what it is. Perfectly acceptable to be whatever you are in this moment. And if you're struggling, you're in the right place. We are the turtle herd. Slow and steady, we weather the burden together, my friends. I don't understand. What don't you understand there, Milo? Fat Ma? Help me help you there, my friend. In 2 weeks, I'll be 18 old. Good to you. T-shorts, hello. Getting acclimated again. Damn, yeah, that's where I'm at, Doc. That's where we're talking about, I think, is, you know, I had these expectations for the day, and it's not going to work out that way, but that's fine. It doesn't need to be exactly what I expect, and instead of getting anxious and going crazy about it, we took a little drive, get ourselves some comfort food. Figure out a way to take care of yourself. Make a move. Get out there and do something with yourself. Do anything with yourself. That feeling of uselessness will leave you, as the big dog would say. So I figured why not get on here and share a meal with you guys. Remind myself of those beautiful lessons. And you know, spend some time inside my own head. Figure out a way to be comfortable doing so. But, yeah, slow and steady. Nice and easy. It's a little easier with a dumpling in your hand. I feel like I'm always getting acclimated. Especially lately, right? I mean, this whole trip was just dealing with one set of unfortunate events after another. But there was a lot of beauty in it, right? You look back at it, being able to spend time with my niece, being able to spend time with my brother. The car is no more, but it'll forever be in my memory. The Gold Galactic Avenger. Whew. Yeah. How you feeling, fam? You doing all right? Anything in particular going on you'd like to chat about? I don't really have much to say besides what I said, you know, and it's been one of those days where I don't quite have the words to fill the air, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? I don't have the energy to juggle or be the jester, but it doesn't mean we can't reflect a little bit and try to find a sense of peace and acceptance for what the day is. Doc, your brother-in-law is a righteous dude. He's a very awesome dude, for sure. Rob from Misled Utopia. Check out their channel. And that's what we do as family, right? These people that take care of us, we take care of them. We do our best to embody what family means in any given moment. It doesn't mean blood. It doesn't mean where you came from. For me, family means a certain set of actions over time. How are we going to treat the people we care for? Are you going to go out of your way and be there for someone you care for, even if you don't necessarily want to be? That's family. That's what I did for my brother, and he returned the favor. I went down there, and then it was one series of crazy events after another, but I didn't give up on him. I stuck around and made sure that he had another set of hands there so that we could get all the stuff out of his house and move him to Indiana, and he returned that favor by I rented the car, paid for it, and drove with him up here, and he had to drive back, so it was the only real solution for the situation we were in, since it would have cost triple, and then we didn't have a major credit card to rent a car in one state and leave it in another. I would have just done that, but it ended up costing me the same amount of money because it cost about $200 to rent the car, and I had to give him $200, gas there and gas back. But yeah, very righteous dude there, Rob from Misled Utopia. Omar, it's good to see you, Broham. Thank you. Send a little love over there inside. Pushing through, doing the best I can today there, big dog. We're working on it together, right? Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the love. This overwhelming feeling for me that happens when the music stops, when I feel like I hit a brick wall in the momentum of what I'm doing. And, we got here, and Rob had to turn around and leave, and that was, wasn't what either of us wanted, but what he had to do. And my game plan for the day kind of fell through with getting this marketing strategy rolling with Randy, because he had to take himself a break up north. So I'm just trying to take some time and relax, not worry about it, not have to be running towards some goal to be okay. And I don't have internet at the house at the moment, so I can't necessarily watch TV or anything there, or really even use my phone. So it might not necessarily be a bad thing. I think it's time to take a break from that being overwhelmed with Rudy. It's not night where we're at, brother. It's 4 in the afternoon. What's for dinner, Omar? Fried dumplings from my favorite Chinese food place here in Cicero, New York, China Walk. Sweetheart Corners, if you ever make it out this way, my friend. Dumplings, fried dumplings, good sir, without a doubt. It might seem like a simple thing, but it's funny. You go to every Chinese place does their dumplings slightly different. This place has some really good dumplings. The breading that's on them really isn't too thick, but it's got a nice consistency to it. The sauce is absolutely amazing and flavorful, and they fry them up just right every single time. So this is one of my comfort foods, one of my go-tos. I like dumplings. Your mother. Hey, Z, what is going on with you, brother? Oh, man, people in pain. We pray for you there, brother. Z for who has made you feel so uncomfortable that you feel like you could come in and say these things and hand that boulder of pain? This ain't the place, man. I mean, you can try. None of us here are going to take it. We're just going to acknowledge that somebody made you feel so uncomfortable that you have to come in here and say, look, you already retracted it. Well, stick around for a while. You'll see what we're doing here. Look, I am going to remark on the fact that you must be in a hell of a lot of pain there, good sir, to come in and say something like that, hoping that I'll feel insecure and weird so you don't have to feel that way alone. I pray for you, brother. What do we got? How the crab rangoons? Doc, they're fried dumplings, good sir. They are absolutely amazing. And what was that? Zemar? Usman? Hope you're still around. There you are. I'm jerking around and feeling really good watching you. Thank you, Usman. You're welcome in here, brother. Thank you for chatting. I mean, joking around is good, man. It's good. I hope you're doing all right. I don't mean to come down on you so hard, but the truth of the matter is, when people hand boulders of pain, most of the time they're in pain, man. Or if they don't know how to express themselves outside of a way that might make someone else feel uncomfortable, it's most likely because they've been made to feel uncomfortable. And we want to address those issues here. It's all good. So, but here, this weird thing that you're doing isn't going to hold any weight with me, brother. I hope you're doing all right. I hope whoever has made you feel that way, made you feel insecure and broken and lost and alone and ashamed, has first of all stopped doing whatever they're doing to you, and secondly, you find the gusto to confront them and not just hand random people on the internet your boulder of pain, trying to get them to feel as awkward and broken as you feel in this moment because of the naughty things that whoever's creeping into your room in the middle of the night is doing to you, man. Again, we're not taking that boulder of pain here. It's not our pain. We realize that. I'm not sure, Omar. Did I miss you somewhere? Omar, you said right. I don't know if it's not showing me. Why do people go silent and ignore me? But I love to spread wisdom. I'm not ignoring you, Omar. I'm not sure who those people are, brother, but I'm here with you. Any wisdom you want to share with us? Especially having to do with what we do when the music stops, right? When our plans don't go to fruition, or maybe they do, and that part of the plan is done, and we're not sure what to do next, right? It can be a real hard place to switch gears and do something else, and accept what is in the moment. Help me figure that out. Omar. Very much, Omar. That's what we do here, right? We weather the burden together. The turtle herd, right? Slow and steady, we weather the burden together. And it's not just some stupid thing my father, has helped me to define. It's not some bullshit saying that we say here to, make ourselves feel good. I say this because I mean it. Because I know how it feels to be alone. And the world is a cold and dark and lonely place if we let it. If we go up into that neighborhood of our mind alone, it's a dangerous place. Don't do that. That was Hawanase's biggest piece of wisdom. One of his biggest pieces of wisdom. Don't go up there alone. It's a dangerous neighborhood. You don't deserve to be in that pain and that anguish that comes from going up there and trying to figure it out yourself. You don't have to. Doctor, yes, probably 40% of the country is in that shape. I believe so as well, Doc. I believe so as well. I'm in that shape at times. That's why I, have the compassion to start this thing that we do here. That's why we started the Turtle Herd together, so we could have this place to have open, honest communication, help our brothers and sisters while helping ourselves, right? Through this open, honest communication. Because I truly believe that saying that Al used to say. It's your mind is a dangerous neighborhood. Don't go up there alone. Take someone with you, especially if you have someone who cares, right? That's why we always have this survey, asking if people are all right. It's not some bullshit just to get you to interact, and really want to know if you're okay. Are you struggling? Were you struggling yesterday? If you got something coming up tomorrow that might be a struggle, you're not alone. My door's always open as well, Omar. Absolutely, doctor. Well, I'm glad we can have this conversation. I'm glad I can share a meal with you guys. I am glad that we made it back to New York, but that, and I'm working on not letting that feeling creep in, and my father didn't understand this, or my brothers. And that's okay, man. We can't force feed anybody anything, Omar. And my biological family didn't understand most of what we talk about here. They're living in such a circle of pain and anguish that all they know is to hand that pain in circles. And that's how I grew up. And, even if you don't say it and you just live it, it can cause conflict with the people you care for. Because I live this reality. I live this reality of doing the next right thing to the best of my ability. I live the reality of doing my best to set down the boulder of pain at the people's feet that try to hand it to me. And when you do that, in a scenario where it's out of character for people, they're just used to handing the boulder of pain. I hand you the boulder of pain, you hand me the boulder of pain, and then we could both be in pain and be POSs. They tend to get upset. But you got to take care of yourself. And if they don't understand what that means, then another great thing that Al used to say is there's a distance that must be maintained for pretty much anybody in your life. It's you're gonna, no matter how much you love somebody, certain people you can't be around most people you can't be around all the time, and that's okay. See you, Mello. Catch you later there. It's Fat Ma. Sorry, Scott. Don't worry about it. What are you sorry about? Omar, we appreciate you. Manjo. I'm always in self-doubt. I want to for greater things, but losing due to the procrastination. Manjo. Well, welcome in and appreciate you expressing yourself. That's what's causing your struggle today. We could work on that together. I'm here for you. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already a member of the Turtle Herd. Again, we take it very seriously. We weather the burden together here, whatever it may be. And Manjo, I get it. Plagued with self-doubt, plagued with that whisper that becomes a roar in our mind, plagued with that candle flame that becomes a forest fire before we know it, because we flame it with our insecurities. We allow that whisper to peck at us till it's all we can think about. And then it becomes so heavy that it becomes anxiety and depression, and we get lost in it. And that's what I'm fighting here in this moment, Manjo. I want to make sure I said that. Did I say that right? Manjo, I guess. That's kind of what I'm fighting here at the moment, because I was starting to feel that anxious. I was starting to feel that rev down. I was starting to feel that uselessness. That whisper was starting to clock in. What are you doing next? You got to make some kind of progress, or you're a POS. And it's like, you know what? Some days I don't, some moments you don't have to be making progress towards any great goal. Manjo, sometimes it's just about taking care of ourselves and getting some kind of validation out of that. And that's the reminder I need in this moment. That's why I'm sitting here at my favorite Chinese place, eating fried dumplings, chatting with you guys as a reminder to me about what it's going to take to stay out of that abyss, blowing out the candle right now. Cue pain, cue whisper. No matter how much it keeps popping into your head, you got to tell it every single time that you're not right. That, the truth is that I deserve a little bit of time of reflection and appreciation. And so do you, Manjo. Doctors, New York, ridiculous. Recreational. New York is recreational now. There's a dispensary on every corner. One about, literally, I could throw a stone and hit one across the street from Sweetheart Corners. Brandy B, it's good to see you. Omar. Procrastination is always something that causes me to lose the momentum and fall into anxiety. Me too, Omar. Yeah. Well, the reality is too, procrastination comes from fear of what may happen, right? I think that the shame has a big thing that I explain. I know I'm not really being coherent as I'd like to be today, but there's when it comes to procrastination, it was explained to me that it's wrapped up in our shame, right? That we have this shame that we carried around from childhood that causes us to be in fear of doing the thing, right? Because if we do it, we complete it, we could be judged. If we put it off and we don't move, then nobody moves and nobody gets hurt, right? So it's easier to keep putting the thing off than to complete it and have to present it and then possibly be judged on it, right? So because we have this shame of who we are and what we're doing, this fear of being judged is where I think it comes from for a lot of people. Omar, F you, right? Yeah, F you, Omar. F you to that whisper in your mind, man. Manjo. Say it over and over again. You're a beautiful, caring, loving person. I know it might sound weird, man. Mrs., Mr., whoever you may be. But sometimes that's exactly what we need to do. Sometimes we need to face it head on, even if it feels awkward. That's what I'm doing in this moment, right? It's awkward. It's weird. I feel a little bit tense, a little bit anxious, getting out of the house. But if I just sat there and I started dwelling and losing myself in these thoughts, I could fall into a really dark place, and it could be hard to find my way out. The medicine is reaching out. The medicine is finding a sense of purpose in doing for myself. Here in New York, home, right, my bunny in my house, that's pretty much all I have. A couple close friends, and it can get lonely here. That was one of the fears of coming back. I really enjoyed spending time with my brother and my niece, and felt like I was, it was part of something for the moment. The reality of it is, this doesn't have to be forever. As long as we don't let the moment get to us, as long as we don't let the whisper win, brothers and sisters, you deserve better than those negative thoughts that consume you. If you're out there and you're part of that 44% that are not doing okay, perhaps you're in the right place. Perhaps this is the moment where you start to turn the tides. Perhaps this is the moment where you realize that despite how hard it's going to be to pull yourself out of that darkness, that you're worth the effort to do so. And I hope you find that place. I hope you find that peace. Believe me, I understand how it feels to not feel like we deserve that peace, but that's that whisper, that's that darkness inside of us that grows if we feed it. It's time to start feeding the positivity and the hope in our hearts. Lonely and anxious. Well, we're with you, Omar. Take one step, right? That's first step of open, honest communication, brother. That's the first step. What's the next one? What else can you do for yourself? Continue this conversation here and be as open as possible. Try to dig down to the root of it. Try to really, find that place and then admit the fear that you're in that causes that anxiousness. What is the core of it? Sometimes it seems pointless, right? And a lot of times maybe it is. But most of the time I find that my fear is based in shame. It's based in this fear of not being enough, not doing enough, not saying the right thing. I get paralyzed with what I should and could and would be doing, and I lose track of what could be done, and I lose track of the beauty of the world through those feelings there, Omar. And it's easy to say that I don't want you to feel that way, brother, and it's not as easy to feel like I deserve not to feel that way. Awesome, brother. And if it ends up being me and you today, Omar, then it's well worth it, brother. I need another realization, another, truth that I need to come to terms with, that this and what we're doing here isn't about connecting with the entire world. It's about alleviating a little bit of struggle in our brothers and sisters' hearts through open, honest communication. It's about spreading my Father's wisdom, Hawanase. It's about doing the next right thing, which means taking care of ourselves, our family, and our community. It means giving thanks to Creator, or God of your understanding. And having this conversation. It means, doing the thing that might be hard, getting out, taking a walk, hydrating. I got to start hydrating a lot better. I've been drinking too much soda. The water down there in Georgia where we're at was horrible. We couldn't drink it out of the faucet, so I stopped drinking water. Getting out, getting moving. Getting some more L-theanine, because I ran out of that, and maybe that's a little bit of the anxiousness of today. I didn't have that L-theanine yesterday or today, and that supplement helps. I drink a lot of caffeine. Omar, that's probably a big part of your problem too. Me too. I love caffeine in the morning. I love my coffee, but it's not good for the nerves, brother. Try to supplement. Maybe drink weaker coffee, or make sure that you get a cup of water in after the first. A cup of water before the first cup of coffee is a good thing. You can slam that down with the reward being your cup of coffee in the morning. That might be a way to start. But if you're anything like me and you got ADD, the caffeine tends to help, right? It tends to speed us up enough to help us find a center. And but then in the long run, it's not doing us any good in this anxious, overwhelmed feeling that we tend to get. So maybe first things first, cut that caffeine down a little bit there, big dog, and go from there. But, what's your favorite food, Omar? Maybe splurge on yourself a little bit today. Part of my struggle, part of this unhealthy thing that I do, is that I don't allow myself to spend the money on myself that I would spend on others. If you told me you were hungry, man, whatever you want, a couple extra bucks in my pocket, that's fine. For me, it's like I struggle with this thing, right? Well, it's going to cost money for gas to get there, and I got to do this, and it's all these things. Well, if I'd listened to that whisper, I'd be sitting at the house right now there, and but that's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for any of us to segregate, to sit alone. I had the option. Randy just texted me and sent me the GPS coordinates, but it's like 100 miles north, and multiple hours. So, and driving this bus up there and driving back, the financial end of it really isn't that big of a deal, right? I still got a couple bucks left, but it's time to relax. It's time to take care of ourselves. It's time to get myself some comfort food and have a good conversation with you guys. That's what time it is. And reach out to our 41% of voters here that aren't okay. Man. Try to help inspire you or your loved ones to express yourself, man. Well, what's really going on? Sending love to those haters that come in and decide to try to spread their pain to us, and help them figure out a way to set it down through open, honest, real communication. If you're going in anywhere on the internet spreading boulders of pain because you're in pain, man, maybe you should start recognizing that. That's what we're all taught. It seems like we're all taught to hand the boulder of pain. That's the world I grew up in. That's not the world that my father raised me in. Once I got a little bit older and found my real family, striving for normality, striving for comfort. Maybe we're not meant to be comfortable all the time. Maybe we're meant to use spiritual alchemy to turn that uncomfortable nature into energy and momentum to push forward. How's the bus holding up? The bus is in good shape, I think. It's holding up great. Got stuff for a tune-up. Got the two new front tires. Got a bunch of work, obviously, still to do here in the back. Some insulating, some paneling, some this, some that, and other thing. Part of what we had to come back for, because the 25th is going to creep up on us soon. We'll be at the Between Worlds Festival selling lemonades. Hopefully in this thing with a bed and some shelves and a place to cook in it. One day at a time, slow and steady, right? One small step after another, we'll find our sense of peace through open, honest communication, right? I truly believe that's the key. That's the first step to truly letting go of the past and living in this moment, flowing with the river of life. Sometimes we don't feel as energetic and appreciative as we may like, but doesn't mean that we give up. We keep pushing forward. Will you place a bed or cot in there, maybe a cooking spot? So that's what the goal is. On this side, I want to do I've got a chair I want to put here on a rotator, and then behind that a bench, and then the bed in the back. I was thinking about bunk beds, since me and Rob will be sharing this for the trip. And then on this side, I want to do a bench with cabinets underneath it with my flat top. I got a fan to go in that window. Maybe put a little sink right above. What I want to do is put a sink there on that bench, and then build a little cabinet up there and put one of those Walmart shower bags into a little sink that drains into a 5-gallon bucket. The build on this is going to be very minimal. It's going to be very simple for now. Just some shelves, and like I said, possibly building a bunk bed system there in the back. If not, at least a twin bed in the back. And then I was gonna put some bolts through the front and the back of the bus, and maybe put a hammock in there. Is what the game plan is. Maybe next time we'll play Know Your Role in the bus. I don't know how many more of these I'll be doing or when I'll be doing them. Hopefully I'll be too busy for a while. So I figured that's another thing too, right? Take the time when you can. I don't know how much free time I'll have moving into the future before we end up at the festival here at the end of this month, or the end of September. Since I got this bus to rebuild, I'll try to incorporate you guys in it as much as possible. But the marketing for the business, and hopefully painting a couple houses so we can get ourselves another small car is where my energies will be pointed at. Sounds like you have a pretty side plan for the transformation. I think we got a pretty decent plan for the transformation. Living in the old Dodge Avenger, my camper car, is having this much space is a blessing. Like I said, the gas mileage is absolutely horrendous, but we'll be able to fit everything we need in here to paint houses. We got 1 month ahead of us, 4 months left of 2025. Not how we start, how we finish. Damn straight. I guess a lot to do with our intentions too there, Omar. It might keep falling apart around you, but as the big dog told me, if you got the best of intentions, Scotty, and that's what matters. That's what makes you a kind, caring human being. Not how it plays out. That's part of the test. That's part of God of your understanding's test. I believe that wholeheartedly. Is for plans not to work out the way that you want them to work out, and see how you respond to that. And it might not feel good, right? But have you heard of anybody ever growing outside of pain, outside of struggle? Anybody become stronger out there in YouTube land physically or emotionally, without going through some kind of trials or tribulations. Um, know what, Omar? It's the necessity and the struggle. It's all right. It's all going to be all right, good sirs and madams. Yeah. I think the game plan for tonight is just to go home, relax a little bit, maybe make some shorts. I've got some pretty good footage for some pretty awesome shorts. I know I haven't created any shorts in a while, but me and Rob went to the dump. It kind of traumatized my brother there, bringing him to the dump for the first time. We had to get rid of all of his stuff that we got rid of before we moved him to Indiana, and it was pretty fun taking him to the dump because he had never been there before. And his dump in the Dixieland landfill there in Delton is a lot cleaner than any dump I've ever been to. And he was like, "This place is nasty," and I just wanted to laugh at him. Like, bro, this is the cleanest dump I've ever been to. Got a nice little short to make about that, and part of the trips short, a cool little heavy metal truck I found along the way that I took a video of there in Georgia. Was cool. Yeah, some good stuff, man. Maybe I'll just work on that tonight. Sounds pretty fun, little scrapyard. Yeah, we brought 3 couches, some end tables. Pretty much 90% of Rob's stuff went to the junkyard. And then I've also got another video of how we piled up his truck. He's got a short bed 6-foot truck that we put a queen size mattress and everything he decided to keep in it. And we put the mattress on one side of the truck and the box spring on the other, packed in the inside of the wheel wells, and then we freaking stacked that thing up all the way to the top of those boxes, or the box springs and mattress, and kind of sandwiched it in some foam, and we made it work. We made it work. So, yeah. And this stupid thing, I have to admit that all the time kind of stuck and playing Groundhog's Day down there in Indiana, and I've hit that vape a little bit too much, and now I'm kind of fell back into that being a thing. I'm sure that'll make me a little anxious trying to give up that, but I'm adamant about getting away from the nicotine completely. I still haven't had a cigarette since April, so I can bend myself for that. The little things, man. Give yourself thanks for the little things out there today. If you're struggling, today's not your day. That's all right. It doesn't have to be. We're not meant to feel blissful and content all the time. I think a lot of the people that have had it easy, don't bring much spiritual or emotional value to the table, because how can you have empathy without struggle? How can you have true compassion for your brothers and sisters if you haven't fanned the flames of pain in your own heart to the point where you've been consumed? And that's where I'm at. I've been there in the past. I don't want to go back to that place, so we communicate about it in an open, loving, compassionate way. Omar, I might make a short, maybe start getting into making content, creating, no smoking. Way go, me too. Good, Omar, you should, man. Make a couple short videos. Make it just about the process. Not about the expectations of what views they get or whatever, and make some shorts, and then put a reminder into one of my shorts or one of my videos that you had made something new, and I'll check it out, man. I can actually click on your name when you give me a comment in one of my shorts or one of my videos, so I can actually go to your YouTube channel through that, and then I can check it out, man. Yeah, make some shorts, put some music to it, cut it up a little bit, do something different with yourself, man. It's okay. For me, it's so easy to keep moving forward and the music's playing when I have all these great things that I'm doing for all these people. And as soon as I'm done, like that whisper starts creeping in. But we maintain positivity by blowing out that candle of pain and struggle. It's okay. It's okay to feel a little tense, a little anxious. Things aren't going exactly the way that they need to go, and that's all right. Or the way that we think they should go. They're going exactly the way, God of your understanding, would like them to go. No name Joe, live on a van down by the river. You don't get your stuff together, you'll be living in a camper down by the river. You'll have plenty of time to roll your doobies. Living in a small bus down by the river. There are no rivers in eyesight, and I do not live in this bus, but no name Joe. I appreciate the reminder. We need a little laugh, right? Little comedic interjection into the conversation is a good one, man. Thank you, no name. We appreciate you, brother. Hope you subscribe. You can add a little humor into our conversations as we push forward, man. You're deeply appreciated. But yeah, that was one of my favorite gimmicks, man. Saturday Night Live. Chris Farley was an absolute genius. Down by the river, huh? The other little technique, if you deal with anxiety, is called square breathing, right? So you do an inhale for 4 seconds, you hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold for 4 seconds. And you continue that cycle of breathing for a while. It kind of helps to pull you into the now. Yeah, that's why I was thinking about going up to the Adirondacks and visiting Randy. But it's a couple hours up there, a couple hours back. There's another $100 that I don't really need to spend right now, and maybe it's time for me to take a little break and just relax. It's been a hell of a run over this last month, and we've accomplished a lot. I've played a hell of a lot of Groundhog's Day when it's come to the waiting game, which was necessary for me to find the patients that I need, and those lessons are continuing because I still need to learn those lessons. And as long as we can keep having those conversations, keep spreading the tools that I've been given, the great men and women that have come forward before us, we'll keep learning and growing. We'll keep doing better. Keep pushing forward, becoming something more than we could have without it. 50-50, 10% of you guys out there, 10 of you guys out of the 20 that have entered our poll here are not doing so well today. Well, stick around for a while. If you feel like expressing why you're not feeling so well, you're not alone. This place, this safe space, was designed and is meant to cater to the Turtle Herd members. Slow and steady, we weather the burden together. Hit that subscribe button, join the adventure. It's not all, this kind of feel, but at times it is. It's exactly what it needs to be whenever it needs to be. There's some cool stuff on the channel, and the shorts, tons of shorts. My coffee talk I thought was pretty awesome, and if you look at my playlist, Bun's on there. My car, the Galactic Avenger. What is the meaning of life? All right. Well, if you talk to Hawanase, Alan Smoke of the Onondaga Nation, he would tell you the meaning of life is the connections that we make. Because it's the only thing we truly take with us. It's the only thing that defines us in a way that's eternal. The love, compassion, appreciation, and hope that comes along with the connections we make. Everything else is just in this moment and turns to dust. The things we buy, the things we covet, the only thing that really matters is the connections we make and the decisions we make for in those moments of connection and love. You don't want to do something and you do it anyway because you love somebody. That's something you can take with you. That's something that they can take with them. That's something that will become a part of them and will stay a part of you forever. That's love, that's family, that's appreciation. And that's the meaning. And I guess it all depends on who you talk to. But I think Hawanase was on to something. Life is whatever meaning you give it, brother. Damn straight, Omar. I think that's another good one too, bro. For real. Right? If you find purpose and meaning in life through your children, through raising positive, loving human beings, through your job, through your whatever, who am I to say? I'm just another human bouncing around here trying to figure out how to be connected to a God of my understanding. Trying to spread these tools of hope and inspiration that this great man instilled in me. A testimony to how things can change if we put the effort in. A testimony to what life can be despite what we were handed. Because my biological family really isn't the greatest, man. I mean, they're great people, the ones that are still left, and I love my sisters. I love, but I just mean, they only had the tools they were given. And Hawanase took me in as a younger man and gave me these tools for no other reason than I needed a father. And I honor him on his journey, and I honor the connection and his meaning of life through spreading that wisdom. That's a big part of this channel, big part of what we do here as the Turtle Herd. I think Al would have liked that, the fact that we call ourselves the Turtle Herd. I understand that. Life is whatever you mean. Yes, very much so. I'd like to have it, have true and real meaning, right? I think that purpose and connection acceptance and appreciation. There's a million lessons to be learned here in life. Maybe they're all part of the meeting as well. To find strength in the struggle, to appreciate where we're going, even if we're not sure exactly where we're headed. The same fate that overtakes the fool will also take the wise. I like that one. Spotberger, Spottenberg. AS. I like it. AS. That's a good one. We're all headed to the same place. I think that part of our journey is how much of a struggle do we want to make it. There's going to be pain. There's going to be growth in that pain. There's going to be acceptance in that pain if we allow it to be. Are we going to take that to a negative place continuously, or are we going to find true healing and inspiration in those lessons that a God of your understanding is trying to help you find? Hunting grounds. Fertile hunting grounds, exactly. To that other place, heaven, the fertile hunting grounds, whatever word you decide to put on it. I think one of the biggest things, too, that I learned through the traditional teachings and my connection thereof is that there are no words on the other side. It's a physical thing that we've created here in this place. And we're so wrapped up in how this physical place works that it's hard for us to wrap our heads around this fact that there is no words. One of the beautiful gifts I got from my brother's passing, from Steve's passing, my first brother who passed, through my connection with him and what he wanted me to see and understand through his passing, all came with no words, but it came all at once. In this moment that lasted forever, a split second all at once. AS, what does a man gain from all his work under the sun? What does a man gain from all of his work under the sun? I guess it all depends on what you're looking for there, AS. What are you trying to gain? Respect, admiration, fear, power? You can have any of it in this world, depending on how you play the game, right? Depending on what your works are. Are you doing the next right thing? Finding kindness and compassion in your heart for your brothers and sisters? I think that you'll gain respect. You'll gain peace. You'll gain love. Are you looking for outside admiration? I think we all are to a certain extent. Are we able to set that BS down and understand it doesn't mean shit? That the only thing that really matters is how we feel and think about ourselves? Are you trying to gain inner peace? That comes from a whole nother set of steps. I found a really good Native American video that provides lots of teachings and understanding. Philosophy and religion has given me a spiritual concept to the world today. That's awesome, Omar. There's a lot of beautiful understandings in the traditional teachings, the Native American understanding of what we have going on here. I think it's well worth looking into. Check out To Become a Human Being by Leanne Shenandoah, a collection of by Steve Wall, a collection of wisdom from Leanne Shenandoah, the Tano Dao chief of the Six Nations. That was what Hawanase gave me when I was about 16 years old, and wasn't sure why at the moment. Now I understand. It was so that we'd have something a common ground to communicate on. He was really trying to help me find, a sense of peace in this chaotic world I was born into. And, maybe Al's house wasn't the most calm place ever if you really looked at it from the outside in, but it was my sanctuary. And that wisdom that he gave me through his understanding of the traditional teachings was a blessing. There's a lot of beautiful stuff in Native American wisdom. I think there's a lot of beautiful stuff in a lot of religions. I feel like, if you have an open mind and an open heart to accept your brothers and sisters and their point of view, you're going to be able to see a little bit more of the picture than you would just focusing on your own. Not to say whatever your connection is any less valuable or more valuable than anybody else's. Wisdom sandwich. Damn straight, Omar. Falcon, it's good to see you this lovely afternoon. just taking a little break, reflecting a little bit. Appreciate you guys helping me find my center. With open, honest communication, was feeling a little tense, man. I'm starting to feel a little tense. I was starting to build that anxiousness up in me because I didn't know what the next step was to do. I didn't know what the next right thing was. And it's hard for me to take that step for myself and get the validation that I get out of doing for others. But I remembered Howard Ase's words. It's time to get up and do something with yourself. Take care of you first, right? So went and put gas in this old Clugger here. And, and made it to my favorite Chinese food restaurant and having a nice conversation with you. I killed my brother and my father, and now God has cursed me. I am this wanderer. Is this a quote, Aaron, from something particular, or is this a true reflection of you in your life? Is this some way that you feel because of your actions, or did you actually do these things? I feel like there's been times where I felt like, I was responsible for my, father figure's death. We got to let that go, man. That's something we got to let go. Something you should let go if you feel that way, brother. If it is a quote, please let us know from where. I'd be very interested in finding out where exactly that quote's from. If you do find yourself in Syracuse, New York, Delta Sonic has the best price on gas. I put like $6 or $8 or $15 in this thing just to get to Central or to out here to North Syracuse, and then filled it up at Delta Sonic because it was 40 cents cheaper, which saved me like $10 filling this thing up because it costs like $80 to fill her up. God doesn't curse; He only loves. I appreciate that, Falcon. I think you're right. I think that if we feel cursed and we carry that weight around with us, that curse can follow us around. There are times where I feel cursed, man. There's times in my life where I've felt cursed. I felt like everything I touch turns to shit. I feel like no matter how hard I try, it all falls apart. I feel like it's all my fault. But those are an illusion, man. Those thoughts are the whisper. That's the Creator's brother. That's the darkness trying to pull you away from Creator's love, a God of your understanding's love. We got to figure out a way to snuff that out, man, and find peace and love and acceptance for ourselves is the only way that we can truly ever push forward and let go of that darkness, man. We create the world around us. Manifest destiny is real, and it's not some hokey, magical thing, man. You're struggling and you're out there condemning the world. You're out there blaming everybody. You're out there, with this negative energy coming off of you. The only thing that you can attract is negativity. If you're in pain and you're struggling, and you can hold on to the idea that this struggle is going to make you stronger, this struggle is going to give you more compassion, this struggle is going to help you find a way to help other people, then there's a purpose in it, and you can grow from it. I believe that I can grow from it, from this understanding. Sally, you did beautiful work here. You were amazing and positive. Thank you, Sally. I appreciate the reminder. And that's I think so too. I think we finally got that the bathroom working there at Sally's. It worked out exactly the way it needed to. Even though last time we were there at some of the videos in the Next Right Thing, you can check out Next Right Thing category, Sally's house. The water, we couldn't get the pressure to shut off. This time around, we ran the water and the pressure went down, and we were able to fix it. It was this weird thing, but we were able to, serendipitously able to fix it right as Rob moved in so that he could have his own bathroom moving in with Sally, yeah, I feel like it worked out exactly the way it needed to, Sally. And I feel appreciative and appreciative that I was able to get there and release that, that burden. That was that burden on me that I was putting on me, right? So, and the other thing is too, to hold on to that feeling, man. It's so hard to hold on to the feeling that you did something good, that sense of accomplishment. For me, it's like that only stays around for a moment, especially when it's for me. And I was losing track of that a little bit today, but being here and having this conversation, especially Sally's reminder, thank you, Sally, that means a lot. I need that reminder. The music stops, and then all of a sudden I'm the biggest POS on the planet because I'm not doing something for somebody right now, and for some reason can't get any gratification out of doing for me. Well, that's not healthy. Big part of this conversation is to remind myself that this moment is a beautiful one, especially since I'm focused on taking care of myself. This is about me. It's a selfish world out there. It doesn't mean that I have to hurt anybody, because that's foolish selfish. To be wise selfish is to do positive things for ourselves that don't negatively impact anybody. Um, and it's got to be, life has got to be selfish in that way. I believe in a positive selfish way, but it's got to be. Yes, Genesis 4:11. No, now you are under the curse and driven from the ground, which opens its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. Okay, I appreciate the quote. I'm not sure exactly. If you want to break that down for us and say it a little bit simpler, we appreciate a God of your understanding. I appreciate that quote. And we got another one here. Love you all the time. Thank you, Sally. I love you so much. And you're such an amazing, caring, loving human being. Because I know you didn't have any expectations on me. But, in this moment, reflecting with you and being able to give myself praise for what we did at your house is exactly what I need to do. We're going to open a fortune cookie here, ladies and gentlemen, with our Chinese food. Let's see what we got. Don't miss out on your chance to win big. That's not the one. That's our lottery numbers. Love is the sweetest of all emotions. Couldn't be more true, right? What is love? What is love? Love is compassion, kindness, hope, reflection, and appreciation. And can we ever truly love anyone without loving ourselves? I don't think it's possible. All this love I've been spreading around my whole life. Not a drop for me because I didn't deserve it. Well, that's bullshit. How can I love anybody? I've never truly been able to love anybody until I started finding love for myself. Genesis 4:12, when you work the grounds, it will no longer yield its crop for you. You will be the reckless wanderer on the earth. Okay, well, again, we appreciate a God of your understanding there, big dog. Do me a favor. Simplify it for us. Help me understand what you see in those quotes. Because they're good quotes, right? But I don't quite get it. Give and take. Damn straight, brother. Give and take. But yeah, good fortune cookie. Love is the sweetest of all emotions. It can be the hardest to hold on to, especially for ourselves. In this moment, I have love for me. And beyond what I did for Sally, beyond what I did for my brother, beyond what we're doing here, what I strive to do for others, but simply for myself. And that's a blessed thing. Does that mean that I am still not feeling a little anxious? Yeah, a little anxious, a little weird, a little whatever. That doesn't mean that I can't keep doing this. It doesn't mean that I can't be here with you right now, despite how I might feel a little bit revved up. Eating chicken tenders. Damn straight. Awesome, brother. Chicken tenders from everywhere in particular there. Everybody else out there doing all right? 27 people, 48% are not doing okay. Feel free to express yourself, guys. No one here is going to judge you. No matter how you want to say it or what you need to say, even if that's trying to hand a little bit of pain over, because we get some, we'll recognize that and try to help you. Omar, good scripture. I got those versions where you go back into the ground regardless. I think so, yeah, exactly. We all end up dust to dust and whatnot, right, Omar? So let's make the best of the time we have in this moment. Let's continuously find hope and appreciation despite the struggle. Let's let go and find love for ourselves. Hey, how's it going? Pedro. It's good to see you, brother. How'd you answer our survey? You doing all right today? Feeling okay? How does the music stopping, the momentum going towards something bigger, when that stops, how do you maintain? How do you hold it together? Does it bother you? Do you struggle with that? Part of what I'm doing today is admitting that I struggle with that. Struggle with what's to come next when the game plan folds, when I can't go do what I think I should do, and acknowledging that I struggle taking care of me. But I'm making strides towards doing better with that, because I'm out getting myself some Chinese food and getting out of the house, here chatting with you lovely human beings, doing my best to push forward to the best of my ability. That was a beautiful day, you know. Brother had to go back to Indiana today. I miss him. I already miss Sally and my niece, but that doesn't, none of that has to be forever, right? And not all of it has to be done today. I don't have to run out and start doing all this marketing. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, get it done as quick as possible, right? Because the season's coming to an end for painting houses. But I also have to have leeway. My buddy that I'm starting this little adventure with is struggling, man. He had to go up north and take a night. We're going to talk tomorrow instead. We're going to start this marketing, ball rolling, and I think we got a good plan thanks to Rob. We got 1,000 little flyers to distribute inside of 1,000 little plastic bags with 1,000 little pieces of candy in those plastic bags with the flyer. And we're going to toss those into driveways around neighborhoods we want to paint houses in. And if we can get a 1% return, that's 10 houses, right? So it's blind marketing like that. What do they call it? Blind marketing? I forget what the term is for that kind of marketing. But a 1% return on that guerrilla warfare marketing, as Rob calls it, is a good one. So if we can get one house, we're watching you on the big screen. Oh, Miss Kaya Bear, do you hear your Uncle Scott? I miss you, Chunk. I miss you, my little chunk. I hope you guys are doing good, Sally. You holding up all right? Me and Rob are kind of talking about you, hoping that everything's... We have faith in you. We know it's all going to work out well. We know that, it's a little bit of a struggle right now with physically for you, but I really appreciate you because I think that it was in the best interest of that little chunk to not have to drive the hours that we drove. And, Rob's already on his way back. He'll be back by 1, 2 in the morning, hopefully. What country? I am in Syracuse, New York. That's the United States of America. What country are you in? I can't read your name. If you're in Korea, I got a buddy Choi that does some lives. We're doing great. I assumed as much, and I know that it was like you kind of hesitated, went back and forth with it because you were worried about being able to do it. But I'm glad that you guys are doing good, and I really already miss you. That little chunky baby, it's hard to be away from people you care for. It's hard to, and that's another thing too. The page is turning, right? It's not just that the music is stopping when I couldn't keep pushing forward with this marketing strategy. I already miss you guys, Sally. I already missed that little chunky baby, and that's okay. It's okay because we'll all be back together soon enough. I'm sure of that. As Rob says continuously, nothing is permanent. None of this is permanent, right? We take the time and do what we have to do. I got back to the house and everything's fine. That chunky little bunny's doing great. I didn't have an eviction notice on my door for some reason, not mowing the lawn. It's been real hot up here, so my lawn barely grew. I don't have internet at the house, but getting out and getting some Chinese food allowed me to, does this not? That sucks. I've kind of put that over the window there. But, yeah. Well, I'm glad that she heard me. Uncle Scott loves you, little chunk. I look forward to seeing you soon, sweetheart. You and Grandma hold on. Daddy's on his way home. And you'll be seeing Uncle Scott before you know it. The game plan is to get this thing organized and set up in a way where Rob, my little chunky monkey there, can travel down to Florida this winter if we can come up with the extra cash for that. Hopefully we'll do well at this Between Worlds Festival and we'll be able to take a little trip down to Florida, and I'll have this thing built out with a little kitchen, a bed back there, maybe a hammock, maybe a bunk bed in the back. I'm not sure. And I got a seat to put over here that's going to be on a swivel base. That'll be a solid seat to put my little chunk in, and hopefully we'll be able to do some traveling together. But yeah, whatever it is out there in YouTube land, you're doing all right. Take that first step. Take your medicine. Give thanks. Be appreciative for what you do have. And if you got to remind yourself, that's okay, man. I lose track of these lessons real quick sometimes. That's the whole point of this in this moment. Just not lose track of those lessons. And have a good meal with you guys. Relax a little bit. Like I said, I got some fun shorts to make when I get home. That's going to be my goal. And I'm going to do it just for me, right? Get back to the basics. Who cares about the view ratio? Who cares about all these things? You know, when I listened to that thing about procrastination, it really made me realize that maybe I am holding on to more shame than I really realized. You know, maybe that's what's stopping me from completing things and really pushing forward. Maybe that's part of why I procrastinate so much. I'm so scared of being judged, you know, because of the way that things have played out in the past, that it's easier to just put it off, you know, and not complete it. You know, drop that, drop it together. You know, push forward. Stop procrastinating. Do the thing, man. Say the thing. You love somebody, tell them, man. You might not have tomorrow. Tomorrow's not guaranteed for any of us. Live in this moment as it's your last. Flow with the river of life in a positive, loving way. And you get to decide what you want to be. Who the hell am I to tell you? You want to be a prick? Be a prick, man. You want to take a legacy of anger and pain with you when you go? That's on you. You know, that's not where I want to be. That's not the gift I want to bring to a God of my understanding when I, you know, make my transition to the fertile hunting grounds. You know, I want to have a full heart of appreciation and acceptance for what is, despite the gauntlet I had to run to get there. And I know there's a lot of people like me out there that are looking for the tools to do so, and that's the point of this place. That's the point of this space. That's the point of this conversation. That's the point of the whole channel, right? You know, some positivity, some hope, some acceptance in a world of struggle and pain. Cool school bus. Thank you, Mexican. I appreciate you. Yeah, it is a pretty cool school bus. It's the basics at the moment. We're going to do some work on it. We just scrapped the old Dodge Avenger there, Mexican. If you want to become a Turtle Herd member, hit that subscribe button there. Good sir or madam, I'm assuming. I can kind of see the picture down there. But yeah, we weather the burden here together. We're talking about turning the page. We're talking about, you know, what happens when the music stops. You know, and by that I mean what happens when we hit a brick wall, you know, and the momentum just seems to halt, and then all those negative thoughts start coming into our mind. What do? Well, we push forward and we do something. We get up and start taking care of ourselves. For me, I'm working on the concept of taking care of me and finding gratification in that. So, and I hope that you're doing the same. And if you're not okay today, it's a safe place to express that, whether you feel like going into detail about it or not. You know, the Turtle Herd's here for you. Slow and steady, we weather the burden together. Nobody moves, nobody gets hurt. And that's that little joke that Al used to say is something maybe I need to take a little bit closer to my heart. You know, it's okay to just be. It's okay to take this time, especially after everything I've done. You know, it was a lot of waiting. It was a lot of anticipation. It was 1 week after the next with my niece's car, so we could get my brother's car back so we could load it up and do this. And it was a lot of that going on. But in all of that, you know, getting rid of the car, but in all that, I was able to help my niece move to Atlanta. She got her first apartment. I was able to get my brother in Indiana. I was able to fix Sally's bathroom, and, you know, go home and make some videos of that stuff, because I haven't made any shorts in a while. That's my game plan. Reflect on the wisdom and knowledge of the great men and women that have come before me, and give thanks to the best of my ability to a God of my understanding. You know, appreciate a God of your understanding out there in YouTube land. Let's talk about what brings us together. Let's talk about the hope and the beauty in the world. Let's discuss the lessons we've learned through the love and acceptance and through the struggle and the pain. Sarah, sup, Scott? Sarah, it's good to see you. Sup? Chilling, man. Having a good day. Feel a little bit better now that I got some food in me. Chatting about when the music stops, right? This big plan this morning after Rob left, I had to do something. Got to get going. Got to start this marketing plan. And then it didn't work out, right? Hit this brick wall. I'm not sure what to do now. I don't really care about all this taking care of me shit. I just want to do what I want to do and do this thing that I wanted to do. Well, I got to let go of that today because my partner's not around. And we can't work on a marketing strategy and get this flyers and stuff together until he is. So I decided to take care of me, even though it's not the easiest thing, you know. It doesn't give me the gratification it does taking care of others, but I'm working on finding that, Sarah. How are you holding up today? Are you one of the 44% that aren't doing okay? Are you holding up all right? You found yourself in a good, blissful, peaceful place today? Personally, I'm on a little bit of an anxious edge right now, but it's all good. It's exactly what it needs to be, and I believe that in the moments when I allow myself to be connected to a God of my understanding. Um, Slow and steady, nice and easy. You're gonna be the buffalo, or you're gonna be the cow, huh? You're gonna slowly wander into the storm with full confidence and understanding that you're gonna reach the other side of that storm sooner, you know, or are you gonna run away from the storm, shroud yourself in ignorance and pain and denial, and run and run and run and be stuck in that storm for a hell of a lot longer than the buffalo? You get to make that decision. You're going to allow fear and intimidation to rule your world and your heart, and without judgment. Believe me, I've allowed it to rule my world and my heart, at plenty of times in my life. But part of what we're doing here is dropping that, finding peace and acceptance and love in any given moment for what is. Because I know that in those moments when I can let go and flow with the river of life and find true love for myself, then I can express true love to the world. I can be exactly where I need to be despite where I think I should be. And it feels serendipitous. Sarah Scott, the friend I've been staying with, told me I have to be out on October 1st, and I don't have a job either. But I've been trying. I'm telling myself life is beautiful regardless, but I'm scared. I'm gonna be homeless. Sarah, it's okay to be scared, Sarah. It's a hard thing. Have you looked into any kind of assistance? I don't know where you are, if you're in the States. I think we've had this conversation before. Maybe we haven't, not this conversation, but if you're in the States, public assistance isn't something to shy away from if you really need help. There's Section 8. I got some friends that are on Section 8 that can help you get on a waiting list. I don't know where you are in exactly, but maybe that can help us define. I don't know if you ever heard of 988, but it's a crisis hotline, and it's not just an emotional or physical crisis hotline. This is a lifestyle crisis here, Sarah. If you can't figure it out, there's counselors and there's people to chat with you. Because this big of a transition and feeling, can cause you to feel certain ways. And a big part of what I know is that, we can't give up on life when it struggles. There's some lessons in it for us, Sarah. And I'm sorry to hear that you're going through what you're going through. But I'm here for you. And we could chat about it a bit, but you're gonna have to be open and honest with me here a bit, or with us, so that we can give you the best information, the best advice that we can. Maybe if anybody else has any advice for Sarah. I think the first thing is where you're at. It depends on what state you're in, what country you're in, right? What your options are. What your skill set is. Sally, we miss you, Scott. I never work on Sundays. Rest on Sundays. I think you're right, Sally. I think maybe that should be my goal from now on, is to at least take that Sundays and rest. I can work the rest of the week, right? And today's been a good day of rest. I got to spend this morning with Rob and say our goodbyes, even though we both kind of had a heavy heart about it. Omar, if you got phone with internet, that's the start. Small steps. There you go, Omar. Sarah, do you have phone with internet? The shelter told me I have to wait to call them until I'm actually homeless. I am in Kansas, so I know there's 211, and I'm going to call them on Tuesday after Labor Day. Good call. Call 211. I don't. 988 is a. If you get to a place, I don't know what 211 is. If you guys are out there and you know what it is, please express a little bit more what it is for me, Sally or Sarah. But 988 is a crisis hotline. Now, this is for emotional, spiritual, physical crises in your life. And I know some people that have used this crisis hotline to find ways out of a lot of situations. So maybe you could call them. They have some counseling there that can help you out, Sarah. But you're in Kansas, right? I had a buddy that lived in Topeka, Kansas. Look into on Tuesday. Start looking into public assistance. I know that if you have a phone, you obviously have a phone right now. I'm assuming you can fill out all the applications online. Maybe start getting yourself some food stamps if you don't get them, and maybe if you already do, maybe apply for the other stuff. I know that you have to have a certain amount of things that you have to do and hoops that you have to jump through. But if you have no other option, I recommend you jumping through those hoops and don't take a handout. It's not a handout, Sarah. It's a hand up if you allow it to be. Seriously, and there's a lot of things out there that you can do before October 1st. You still got a whole month, right? And then it's good of your friend. He let you stay with him for a while. Whatever's going on with him, October 1st is a good deadline. If you don't be mad at him, or her or whoever you're staying with. Maybe it's time to get on our feet and do it ourselves, Sarah. And we're here for you. We'll be here for you for the next month to the best of my ability, as much as I can get on here. If you need someone to chat with outside of that and you don't really have anybody, feel free to check out the Discord. My description, there's a handful of really caring people on the Discord that are part of the Turtle Herd, or you could direct message me on there as well, and I'll do my best to respond. I respond to everybody as much as I possibly can. You will be successful in life. Keep moving. Good choices. Remember, you matter. Have a great day. Thank you, Snake King. And I assume you're talking to Sarah and to me, to everybody here at the Turtle Herd. We appreciate that. 211 is a situation like this. They help homeless and housing and rent and bills and stuff. That's awesome, Sarah. So you already have a game plan, right? I know it's okay to be scared too, right? The page is turning, right? Life's going to be different. Things are never going to be the same, right? But if the boat's not rocking, we're not fucking going anywhere, Was it scary to jump in my POS car and drive to Georgia? Yeah, it was fucking absolutely intimidating. The last couple times especially, because of all these expectations, man. But, did it get even scarier when things kept not going to plan, when I was misunderstood about when Rob needed to move, or when the car kept not getting fixed and we couldn't do anything and we were just like stuck there in this limbo, and when my car broke and I had to junk it, and it's my backup plan to make money spark driving. This thing's great and everything. I ain't spark driving in this damn thing. This is a money pit for now. And I barely got any because I had to withstand, as we traveled, with this money that I was supposed to be holding towards getting a smaller vehicle so I could have that backup plan. But it's hard to say sometimes, but I got to have faith. We got to have faith that these things that are pushing us forward are pushing us forward for a reason. And maybe if they weren't pushing us forward, we would just stay comfortable, right? If that car was still working, I maybe wouldn't be pushing so hard for the small business that I'm going to start. But because I could always lean out, I'll just go spark driving today. Maybe I'd be spark driving now if the car was working and we wouldn't be having this conversation. And maybe there's somebody out there who really needs to hear this. It's outside of my knowing. It's outside of what we know. Exactly. It's we need to let go and accept what is. I also just think think something about it is gonna be beautiful. I feel like the first time I'm actually happy to be alive and don't want to die anymore despite what's happening. It's a good place to be. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. And then I just want to give you a little reflection on understanding. There's no judgment here, for anybody on fire, right? For anybody thinking that thought that they might want to leave this world. But you're doing the next right thing. You're expressing yourself here, right now, to people that care, that have been through it, that have felt that way. And that's what I mean by weathering the burden together. You're not alone, Sarah. You're not alone. There's lots of people that feel like that. There's lots of people that don't know what they're doing next. But it's great that you can take this negative and really, despite the fear, understand that something beautiful is going to happen when the page turns. Fish. I hope you're doing canned fish. Canned fish. I hope you're doing well. We're just chatting with Sarah and a little bit of her struggle going on. If you want to let us know with a little detail how you answered the survey today, that'd be great. If not, that's okay too. Whatever feels right, my friend. As always, we're just having an open, honest conversation. A fresh start can be exhausting. Yeah, Sally. And I think that we're all, you watch Rob's going through it. I'm kind of going through this fresh start thing with the car and and the hopes and dreams of this new business, with the flow painting that we'll be marketing here this week, because I'm doing it. And there's some fear in what I'm doing, right? Am I going to get some calls throwing these things in people's driveways, and they're going to be mad at me? Is it going to work? And am I going to be a fool that does this marketing thing? I put $200 into these flyers, and they're not going to work. And I'll just not do it, right? I'll just keep putting it off, right? I'll keep procrastinating out of this fear of even judging myself. Well, you know what? Yeah, the worst thing that's going to happen is no one's going to call me on throwing these flyers out, right? One more day. Yeah, that's it. Hold on one more day. I appreciate that, Omar. Anybody out there feeling like leaving this world, believe me, someone out there wants to be next to you right now. You're valued in a way that you can't even imagine. I guarantee you that. Thank you, Sally. Nah. 888. Nah, what? I recognize that, 888. Are you one of our haters coming in trying to deny the truth? You don't have anything prevalent to say in the conversation, and you don't have the gonads to set your boulder of pain at my feet. Oh, I know haters. I'm not sure. Don't let me judge you there, 888. I'm not sure. I just recognize the name. What's the stream about? This stream is about when the music stops, brother. This conversation is about what we do when we have no one else to please and our game plans kind of hit a brick wall, and then that whisper starts creeping in. What do we do? What do you do? How do you change gears and find hope in that moment when the anxiety starts to build? That's what we're talking about. For me, it's remembering my father's wisdom and giving thanks for the things I do have. And despite the heaviness of the moment, pushing forward and finding a sense of purpose and taking care of myself. That's what I'm doing right now. And part of me taking care of me is getting on here and having this conversation. And, if at the very least, if Sarah finds a little bit of hope in our conversation, then I know I did something right. I came out to my favorite Chinese food place. I'm going to have some grub. I had some grub. Took care of myself despite all these reasons not to, right? Gas is too expensive. This thing's too huge to drive around. I broke my car and this and that and the other thing, and would I rather have internet at the house? Yeah, but we don't have internet at the house, so we can't be distracted by that. And I think I'm not going to get it for a while, despite the fact that I could, because I need to focus on me. I need to focus on something outside of, the internet, the distraction, I want a food truck festival with I went to a food truck festival with my family and spent time with my nephews and on him. I love him and have to stay alive to see him grow up. So I have to fight. Damn straight, Sarah. Fight it, man. And just so you know, I have someone close to me who decided to take that route, and it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I know you feel you're about to be homeless, and there's all these things, and you're probably feeling this way and that way and the other way about the way life is and where you should be, but you're exactly where you need to be. Neither of us are behind the ball. I tell you, I let the whisper convince me of that too damn much. You're doing exactly what you need to do. And you're here right now expressing yourself, as I'm doing my best to express myself as well. Are you in the bus? I am in a bus, 888. We are in the school bus. This is my only mode of transportation now that we're back in New York and we've junked the old Galactic Avenger. Check out the playlist, My Car Galactic Avenger. Canned Fish, you say you're depressed, and all I see is recklessness. You are allowed to feel messed up inside and out. I do not mean you're offensive. It just means you're human. Thank you, Fish. In this moment, I'm all right, brother. I've struggled with depression and anxiety. I struggle with it. I was struggling with anxiety building up in my heart before I left the house and decided to do something positive for myself. I still struggle with finding passion in doing for me. But this is something that we work on, right? I don't have to be perfect today, and I appreciate that acknowledgement, brother. Thank you, Fish. Dude, good luck with your future. I know it gets better. Yeah, brother, 888. It's going to be great, man. I apologize for thinking you were somebody else and taking it to a negative place, brother. Same, brother. We appreciate you, Fish. Damn straight. I'm glad you made it. Thanks, James. I'm glad you made it, bro. Just in time for the second fortune cookie reading. We had our China Walk fried dumplings as a self-care treat, breaking that cycle and blowing out the candle of pain and anguish. Um, through open, honest communication there, Jameson. It's good to see you, brother. But the second fortune cookie says you will soon receive unexpected financial blessings. Well, let's hope that means that With the Flow painting's going to kick off here in Central New York. You guys know anybody in Central New York needs some painting, quality over quantity, little family-owned business, two guys looking to do something positive? Let me know. The one thing I do know is painting. And as Sally will tell you, I think I'm pretty good at a lot of other things too. We just redid her bathroom. Check out the Next Right Thing playlist in my playlist. You can see some of the good stuff we've done. The GTG. Gonna clean Ford Focus. Awesome. Yeah, hell yeah, Omar. Till next time. I'm not going anywhere, brother. I'm holding on strong. You too. Scott, Skinny Rogers, it's good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well, and we're reflecting on what we do when the music stops, when the plan doesn't work out exactly the way that we think it should, and we're not sure what to do next. Well, we're taking Al's advice. We're taking care of ourselves first. We'll worry about the rest of this shit later on. Some fried dumplings, a good conversation with you, ladies and gentlemen, and some hope, some love, some inspiration. That's all we need. Everything else is just extra. Having a terrible day thus far. Hope you are better than me, my friend. Well, it started building up in my head there, Skinny. You want to tell us a little bit about it? If you're not comfortable here, there is the Discord, but I recommend that you open up and conversate, man. Here now is probably your best opportunity to have a conversation, try to work it out. We got some caring, kind people in the chat right now that are willing to chime in. I'll check Discord. Yeah, check the Discord. It's in my description, man. If you want to send me a message on there, if you want to send me, I'll do I will respond eventually. Or even if you just want to get on Discord and on one of the topic streams we have there on the Traveling Scott Discord, just lay out what's going on with you there, because it's a smaller group of people. And whatever's comfortable for you, Skinny Rogers. But I implore you to discuss whatever's going on to a full extent. Because if you're having a rough day, man, I get that. Today started piling up on me, and it could be a bad one if I didn't recognize it and start taking care of me and doing what I needed to do. So whatever I can do to help you have those tools would be a blessing for me there, Skinny Rogers. And Ken Fish, you're a great person helping people whom are going through hell. It's very important for mental health, and this is really helping me. Ken Fish, thank you, Fish. It's a good man that I respect a lot. His last name is Fish. We're going to call you Fish from now on. And I have to get out there and see the Fish man on the Onondaga Nation one of these times. But good. I'm glad it's helping you, man. You and Sarah, if that's all, we just touch a few lives in a positive way, then this was worth it. It was worth the anxiousness of me getting on here and the insecurity of even getting out of the house when that whisper started to pile up on me. But we snip it off at the beginning. It's easier to blow out a candle than it is to blow out a forest fire. So that's what we're doing right now together. Hopefully we're all blowing out the candles, and if it's become a forest fire, at least we're finding a nice safe place to be as it kind of simmers down, and we have an open, honest communication about it. And I really appreciate that, Canned Fish. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I gotta go, Scott. I just wanted to hop on and chat for a bit. Thanks. Well, Sarah, I'm here for you. And check us out on the Discord. Hopefully we'll see you again. I'm not sure what my going live schedule will be because of what's going on. It would be hit or miss here. I'm going to have to drive out here to North Syracuse and find some good signal, because out in Kirkville I do not have a decent signal. So I can't do any lives at the house anymore because I don't have internet there. And we got this marketing to do for the business, but stay strong out there. Remember, if you feel like leaving this world, Sarah, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And no matter how you're feeling, that's not the answer. There will be relief from whatever pain you're going through. I promise you. The page will turn and the skies will be blue again and life will be beautiful. And then the page will turn and you'll go through another struggle. And then you'll realize 3 or 4 pages down the line that you gain some kind of strength and understanding from your worst days that have defined you in a beautiful way. And maybe you'll reach out and help people that are struggling. That for me is what's helping me hold on, helping me push through and find love and compassion, is that I'm doing my best to give purpose to the pain and the struggle by being open and honest about it. Also, I just subbed. Sadly, I do not have Discord. Ed Fish, there's a Discord link. I mean, if you download Discord, it's just an app. I mean, it doesn't cost anything, but there's a link in the. I don't know too much about Discord. Crank set it up, one of our monitors here. But it's we can communicate directly, or you can communicate with the other people on Discord. There's a spot where you can show your face on there, where everybody kind of shows a picture of themselves, which is cool. I guess you can play video games and stuff on there. I don't know too much about Discord, but it's something, another tool that we have just in case someone needs to communicate openly and in a more, for me, that's what it means for me. Is just in case that somebody else needs to communicate. Sarah, I was homeless once, says Sally, and it's allowed me to see where I needed to be. Now I have what I need, and I'm able to help my family now. Gonna love you all yourself. Love yourself, my turtles. Thank you, Sally, and I appreciate you sharing that. It's so easy to feel like we're the only ones going through this, right? I'm gonna be homeless. I'm not gonna have this. I'm not gonna have that. And we don't diminish whatever you're going through here, but I don't think that understanding that you're not the only one diminishes that. And I think for me, it helps me, right? You're not the first person to be homeless. Sally's been homeless. I'm telling you, right now, she's got a beautiful place that she just was able to invite her son to live with her. And I was able to go there and fix the toilet. And, and it's a whole different world than it was when Sally was homeless, because she kept pushing forward with positivity and hope in her heart. And Sarah, I really hope that you find a way to do that. It sounds like you're already on the right track. It sounds like you're doing the next right thing. You got some phone calls to make on Tuesday. Get a support structure. Reach out for a support structure, and hopefully we can be that for you here. Be a member of the Turtle Herd, subscribe, and know that you're not alone. Know that there is a safe place to communicate openly in this world without judgment. And if anybody comes in and wants to judge us and hand us their boulder of pain, don't you worry, I got that on lock. Pappy done taught me how to set down the boulder of pain, and most trolls don't like that. Great words, man. Thank you, Skinny Rogers. I appreciate you deeply, brother. Appreciate you being in today. How are you doing? How are you today? Are you okay, man? Are you all right? Feeling happy, feeling sad, feeling lost, feeling broken, a little confused? Whatever it may be, it's all good, man. I'll tell you one thing. I'm feeling a hell of a lot better now that we're having this conversation. I'm feeling a hell of a lot better now that I was able to take some time for me and take care of me. And it's crazy. We have the medicine, right? Here's the medicine. This is what you do. And it's so hard to take that leap sometime. I sat there for about 10 minutes this time, at home before I got up and pushed forward and came out here. But there's 10 times I spent 4 months on that couch, not able to move, not able to get up, not able to do anything, because I've allowed that forest fire, to rage in my heart until it burned it all down, until I had nothing left. And, that's getting, the silver lining of that, it's given me the compassion to, going through that struggle has given me the compassion I don't want any of my brothers and sisters out there to have to go through. Feeling like not living is a valuable option, but that's just me. Skinny Rogers, I've felt that way before, brother, and thank you. Thank you for admitting that. The first thing to do is we open, honestly communicate, man. I wish that my brother could have relieved that pressure valve, to anybody before he decided to leave this world. And I understand that, right? But it's like, that darkness convinces us that the world's a better place without us, right? That if we just went away and never came back, or if we could just, if we could just not be here, everything would be better. But it won't be, man. It won't be, Skinny Rogers. I miss you, bro. And I know that I'm not the only one. Someone in the future who is going to meet you isn't going to have the opportunity to meet you if you decide to take that route, brother. And I understand that, dude. I still have days like that sometimes. What's the point of this? Why keep pushing forward? Why keep struggling? Why does, I'm only causing pain. Everything I touch turns to shit. Those are lies that the whisper tells us. That pain, that shame, that anguish that consumes us it's a lie, man. The truth is that you're loved. The truth is that today is the time to grow. Today is the time to find acceptance in the struggle. Today is the day that we push forward and decide to live, man. Decide to live, because today may be your last, right? You may be put up against the wall and find yourself in your final hour tomorrow. My family has been tough, and a court case for the past year. I'm 17, and they're battling for my brother and sister custody rights. Thank you so much. I'm crying right now. You're the best. Canned Fish, I'm here with you, brother. It sounds like a lot to go through, right? To be stuck in that middle ground where you're getting pulled in two different directions, right? Where they're battling over your sisters and your brothers, and you're right at this precipice where you're not being battled over, man. Or maybe they are battling over you too. Who knows? But it's a tough spot to be in. I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you, Fish. I appreciate your openness, man, and I'm here for you. We're here for you. Hold on. Don't let go. There's a purpose in all this. You got to be there for those little ones, your brothers and sisters. You got to be there for your mom and your dad. They might be saying and doing shit that they don't necessarily mean to say or do because they're struggling trying to get the upper hand. That's a real sticky scenario you're stuck in the middle of there, little brother. But just know that the turtle herd's with you. Hit that notification bell so you can be part of the conversation the next time we have one. I'd love to keep have you keep coming in. I'd love to chat with you a bit more and help you find peace in this time of struggle and torment, because I've been through a lot, but I haven't been through that. But I can do my best to help you find a center. Open and honest communication, I'm sure, will help you a lot. Fish, you're deeply appreciated for sharing. Lies, wow. Skinny Rogers, amen, brother. Amen to you. Shout out, Fish. Damn straight. Can't say it enough. It's all right, brother. Thank you's a beautiful thing, and that's enough. I feel it. I feel you right now, man. It's okay to cry, dude. It's okay to be overwhelmed with emotions. Don't let anybody fucking tell you that it's not. All right? A real man knows when it's time to let go of those emotions, and that's okay. I'm not telling you to walk down the street and sob to everybody you meet. What I'm saying is, in this moment, to release that pressure and to be able to maintain, it's okay to let go of those emotions. And the world, especially as men, tells us that we're not supposed to feel anything but anger, right? So it's okay to go beat somebody up about it, right? And then you're the asshole, right? And it's okay to be that, because that's the emotion we're allowed to feel. Well, you're allowed to feel a lot more than that. And I appreciate you expressing that, because you're 17 years old and you're already allowing yourself to feel it. For me, for years, it took years, man. It took years to allow myself to feel it. And sometimes I still hold it back until it's a raging ball of pain in my chest and I want to hurt somebody. That's not healthy, man. What's healthy is being able to allow the emotions to flow through us. Know that you're in a fucked up scenario right now, right? You're stuck in the middle of two people you love deeply that are fighting it out, man. And, and you got two other little ones to worry about. You love your siblings. You love your parents, I'm sure. I love my mother, despite the struggles that we went through. So, and you're very welcome there, Kinfish. Where are you located, brother? You in the United States, I'm assuming. I don't know why. That's what I'm doing. You can assume, because assuming makes an ass out of you and me. Fucking A. Oh, but yeah, man. Let the page turn. Find a way to accept what is. And know that none of it's on you, brother. I can't chat anymore, but I'll be listening. You saying this is the best. Yeah, I'm in the United States. Colorado. Awesome, brother. Well, I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer anyway. I'm going to get home and make some shorts. And, if you want to find some hope and inspiration there, Fish, feel free to check out my shorts. There's a lot of fun ones in there. Check out Misled Utopia. Some musical medicine, Fish. Naco Bear. If you Google that on Sublime, that's Naco Bear. Medicine for the people. Beautiful stuff. Sublime, if you've never heard of them, and Misled Utopia. If you check out my shorts, you'll see a bunch of their stuff there on my channel. That's the pinnacle of my musical medicine. There, Fish. Yeah, man, I appreciate you expressing to us. I appreciate you listening, man. I highly recommend you check out the shorts on my channel. There's some mental health tools in there that I've tried to, kind of make some shorts about. There's some giving thanks. There's some shenanigans, man. If you check out my playlist, My Car, the Galactic Avenger, you can see the old Galactic Avenger we just junked. And, yeah, brother, appreciate you stopping in, man. I'm glad that we could help. And it really helps add value to what I'm doing here, It's what matters. That we're making real connections for people, is that we're allowing people to be them and speak their mind, and you can be a part of that, Fish. It means a lot to me, bro. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being open. That's something that a lot of people don't ever truly embrace, and then they go on, especially men, man. A lot of these angry, men running around here hurting people, playing alpha, and they're playing alpha because that's all they've ever been allowed to do, is to be this aggressive, angry thing. And they end up hurting people, man. And then you put hurt and pain into the world, and that person wants to hurt and add pain around, and that person. Before you know it, that one little pebble of pain that you threw into the abyss becomes this tidal wave of pain and anguish. But what you're doing here is you're throwing a piece of positivity into that ocean by being open and honest, by accepting what is to the best of your ability. By indulging in this conversation, we're throwing a pebble of love into the abyss. And that love is going to stretch out into the world in a positive, beautiful way beyond our wildest understanding. And I believe that 110%. Never mind, sorry, just had to go feed the dogs. I'll turn things to you. What the best thing you've happened to you? The best thing that's ever happened to me. Wow. That's a hard one there, Fish. The best thing that ever happened to me has been me being able to find a way to love myself, man. And now I lose track of that. I lose track of it, at times, especially when I'm feeling anxious and shit. But that first trip to Florida might have been the best thing that ever happened to me. I took that trip in my van with a cooler and a foam mattress in the back, a blow-up mattress, and ended up in Key West. And on that trip, for the first time in my life, it was about me. It was about going where I wanted to go and doing what I wanted to do, and hiking and beauty and flea markets and state parks and garage sales as I traveled through Florida. That moment of love, that true love is the best thing that's ever happened to me. True love for me is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And beyond that, the best thing ever given to me was my fathers and brother. Creator is the word I like to use because that's Al's word. Gave me what I needed before I even asked for it. I needed a brother. I needed brothers. I needed a father. I needed a family. And it was a blessing to meet these gentlemen that took me in and gave me that. The most beautiful gift I've ever been given is a family and a home. And at this point in my life, too, I thought that I'd never find that again. I prayed for it for a long time, and it kept not coming, and I kept being alone, and, back here in this big empty house. But I found it again, Creator again allowed me to find a brother, to find a mother figure in Sally, to find a brother in Rob, and my niece, my biological family, this thing that I don't have much of that I connect with, and once again, God of my understanding has given me exactly what I need. I need a family. We need connection, and I'm doing my best to spread that wisdom and love here with you guys. Doodle W. Hey, Scott and chat W. It's good to see you, Paul C. Good evening. Unlike be leaving tomorrow for Florida. You're leaving tomorrow for Florida? That's awesome, James, brother. I might. Hope everyone is doing well. Sorry. Oh, you might leave tomorrow for Florida. What, do you got the element? Are you taking the element? Are you going with the misses? What's the game plan there? Dude, you got to check out that pier at St. Pete, man. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. You can stay there for free. It's $1 to get onto the pier. You go away from the rest area to that little strip of palm trees and sand that's right there by the ocean, man, and you crash right there for $1. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. And if you do end up in Florida, Bradenton. It's called, I'll have to look, I think it's called the Pig Pen or Pig something. It's right there in Bradenton. It's a bar. Google barbecue places in Bradenton. It's the one that's called Pig something. You get the best burger you ever had. Taking the grandkids and the Navigator. That's awesome, man. Good. Great. I'm glad to hear. Were you guys going anywhere in particular? Spend some time with the grandkids in Florida? That sounds awesome, brother. W, how you doing today, man? You holding together? I know I still haven't checked out your channel. I didn't get home until 2 in the morning, and Rob leaving today, and I had to be honest with you, I was starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed, man. The music was stopped, the music stopped, and I wasn't sure what I was doing next, and I couldn't do this and that, and I kind of hesitated for a moment. So I came here to China Walk here at Sweetheart Corners in Cicero to have some of my favorite Chinese food to take care of me. That's what I'm doing, brother. Re-rent the condo seascapes. That's awesome. Well, if you decide to do some fishing while you're down there, you could go to that pier and go fishing, man. Right at that spot I was telling you about. I don't know what I'm holding with, but I'm holding. Well, brother, I'm back here at home, man. You're only, 7 hours away. You're welcome. My door's open to you, Brody. I don't know. I don't have much to offer, and I'm not sure what I'm doing next, besides pushing forward, but I'm going to be starting this painting company and doing my best to hopefully have some of that coming in. You get your ass up here, we download that fucking, Spark Drive app. You can Spark Drive around New York. I know you can make some good money. You can Spark Drive around where you're at, bro. I made, over $100 in 6 hours there at Spark Driving where you're at, bro. Maybe that keeping the hands busy, stacking some cash might help. I don't know. Struggling with my dog. I don't know. Trying to go on all of your streams, so don't forget me. But I'll see you when you go live next. Thank you, Fish. Well, we appreciate that, man. If you really want to know a little bit about me, Fish, you want to check out a live stream from last year called what's it called? 988 is in the title. It's got this graphic picture. If you scroll all the way down through my lives until you find the real graphic thumbnail of a little bunny staring at a sign that says 988. Kind of go into my experience and with my brothers and kind of what has drawn me to be who I am today through the experiences I had with them in a really open, honest way, man. But either way, dude, check out the shorts, dude, and do me a favor, watch them all the way through and then comment on as many as you can, man. Good, bad, or indifferent. That helps a lot for the channel to grow. It helps us here to reach more people and to grow the turtle herd. But you got to do what feels right. I don't know what I'm holding on to with either, brother, to be honest with you, W. At times, do something for yourself today, brother. Get yourself a good meal, and that's what I did. Got out of the house because that place was becoming way too big, way too quick. And yeah, man. Do the best you can to stay strong and push forward, man. It's about all you can do, brother. It's about all you can do. We have 47% of 43 people, so about 21 people are not okay today. 21 of our friends that have come in here today and answered the poll. Well, we're with you. And I appreciate Sarah sharing her story. I appreciate you, Fish. It's really brought value to what we're doing here today to have the conversation with you. Do you drive that bus somewhere? Can we get a outside tour? Yeah, man, I can give you a tour of it. I give you an inside tour too if you really want. First, just stay it up right here. There's not much really going on inside the bus besides these panels I put up so far. I might take those back down to insulate them a little bit better. I got to insulate this back wall, do some woodwork, and fix that up. But yeah, let's open this bad boy up. I'm actually, like I said, I'm right at the Chinese food restaurant here at Sweetheart Corners. But yeah, brother, there she is. We haven't named her yet. Messenger Chris's wife is calling her Big Gray. But yeah, a lot of adventures to come with this bad boy. Almost sure of it. I'm watching your shorts. Who's the guy with the beard singing? Fish. That's Rob from Misled Utopia. That's my brother, my spiritual brother, the father of my niece. He's the one that I just went down to Georgia to help move to Sally's. Sally's his mom. She's a prized member of our community here, brother. But yeah, check out their channel, Misled Utopia's channel on YouTube. You won't regret it. It'll help. The bus is cool stuff. Thanks, Paul C. Appreciate you, brother. I think we're gonna call it here in a couple minutes. Here by 2 hours. We're at 1:54 right now. I'm gonna get home and no expectations, but attempt to make some shorts out of some of the cool stuff that's happened in the last week or so, and this way you guys can see a little bit more of the adventure. But yeah, W, man. I don't know what's going on, brother. I know you got a job, and I know you got your kids there that you don't want to be too far away from. But a cooking stream, yeah. So here's the problem. We'll have to do it in the van here in Cicero somewhere because I don't have internet at the house anymore. I'm going to have to get my phone switched over soon, too, because I was on Rob's plan, and that's, with what's going on, that we both got to figure out something new. So I won't be doing any lives at the house for a while. I got this marketing thing coming up for the painting company that me and Randy are supposed to be starting together. I got a couple $100 into marketing. Looking hopeful something soon. Yeah. Are you not working right now, brother? I'm telling you, man. You got to get your insurance straightened out and can. DoorDash, bro. Spark Drive, dude. Where you're at, the Spark Driving's popping. As long as the kids are in, I'm telling you, as the kids are in, you're gonna be freaking so swamped with Spark orders. What did I make? I made over $100 in like 5 or 6 hours, bro. There in your little town. I know that it would help to have something consistent, and I get your thing of gotten to be somewhere. But it'll help you get through, man. And maybe if you could do that, 24/7. Shit, you can do that for 12 hours a day for, a month. You could really fucking stack some cash, bro, especially in an area where you're at. But then again, I'm not here to, whatever. I hope everything's going well with your job. You didn't even let you answer. But yeah, that's the best advice I can give, man. You can even do DoorDash and tell them that you're riding a bike and just use your car. Because they have, and you can take DoorDash orders. It'd be something if that's where you're at. I know we haven't had a chance to talk in a while, and I'm just guessing, bro. I'm just guessing. As long as we don't get any donations towards the next right thing or whatever else, I'm out of here in like another 3 men. I just want to thank everybody who stopped in today. Thank you, W, for being you. Take care of yourself, brother. Do something good for yourself. Don't fall into that whisper. It's easier said than done. Believe me, I understand that completely. I'm going to go hit Walmart and get Bun. You know what I found out? Freaking bunnies aren't supposed to be eating carrots all the time. It's like them eating cake. And my rabbit was fat when I left. I came back and he had lost some weight. He's not so chunky. I was like, what the fuck? And my buddy, I was talking to a friend of mine while I was on this trip. And she said, yeah, it's like a misconception. Like rabbits aren't supposed to have carrots like that all the time. I did not know that. It's like giving them cake. No problem, Paul C. I'm not sure exactly who blocked you or why, but you must have said something where you got blocked for a while. So, or maybe I think what happened there was a miscommunication between you and James, Paul. Yeah, because I remember you being in here one day and then he blocked you, and I was like, wait, Paul's usually like a pillar of. And then I think there was some kind of miscommunication that James misunderstood what you were saying or something, if I'm remembering this correctly, because it's hard with this dynamic we got going on here for me. But it is good to see you back again, Paul. I hope you're doing well there, good sir. I hope you're doing well. And, yeah, slow and steady. Nice and easy. Take a minute and relax. Give thanks to a God of your understanding, my friends. It's all happening for a reason. It's all happening for you, not to you. Believe that. It may not feel that way. Most of the time it doesn't. But the truth is, It's all for our growth. It's all for our best interest, despite how we might feel, right? Despite how what we may think and how we may think should play out. Um, Hilarious. I used to have guinea pigs that were fat. Yeah, check out Bun Bun in the playlist on my channel there, Fish. You'll see chunky little Bun Bun. I'm gonna make some shorts of him tonight too. I miss that little chunky bastard. But yeah, it was nice having a meal with you guys. It was nice chilling for a little while. James, if I don't see you in a little bit, man, enjoy your trip to Florida with the. If you end up anywhere near Bradenton, look into the barbecue place. It's called Pig Pit. I think it's called the Pig Pit. Shit, or Pit Barbecue or Pig Barbecue. Shit, something with pig in it. But they have like these little mini corn dogs and the best greens that I've had in a long time. Some real southern collard greens and a really awesome bacon cheeseburger there, bro. If you end up at in Bradenton, which is just below St. Pete. Another good place to see. The best place I feel to see a sunset is Anna Maria Island, which is right out, it's right there outside of Bradenton. You get the beautiful sunset of Clearwater, except for you don't have a million damn people. It's I found that place door dashing while I was down in Florida in the van. Absolutely amazing place, brother. Anna Maria Island, fucking beautiful. And like I said, man, there's always parking. There's always, there's a decent amount of people there. There's some restaurants, some tiki bars, but it's not like overwhelmed and choked out with people like Clearwater. And it's just as beautiful. The sunsets are, it's literally maybe a few miles south of Clearwater. You go off that bridge through Bradenton, over to the ocean. But there's a strip. There's always parking spots, always beautiful. Love and peace to the universe. Be blessed. Thank you, Paul C. I appreciate you coming back in, man. It's been a while, and I like I said, there was some kind of miscommunication there, I think, with however the conversation went. James apologizes. I don't think he meant to. I think he was just doing the best he could, and that's all we can expect from anybody. I think he, if I don't remember exactly what went on with the conversation, but I remember you being blocked, and I remember being like, dude, what the hell? Paul C's like the, and then, but then he, whatever you said kind of, there we go. Had James thinking that there was something going on. Thanks for all the hearts, guys. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the acceptance today, my friends. Thank you for helping me find a sense of peace, right? Thank you for allowing me to remind myself of the medicine I already have. I appreciate all you guys being a part of that. Tree Farmer in the bus, man. It's been a minute. Yeah, we just made it back to New York, Tree Farmer. It's been a hell of a trip, man. Got the car junked. I think we talked to you when we were junking the car, and it was all these shenanigans. Had to rent a car, and Rob had to drive it, because when you're renting a car and taking it out of state, it costs 3 times as much. It's $150 a day, versus if you rent a car and it comes back to that same place, it's $50 a day. So it literally wasn't possible, because you need a major credit card to do that as well. Take a car from one state to the other and leave it. But it ended up costing $200 for the rental to rent it in Georgia and return it in Georgia, and then $200 in gas to pay for the gas to get here, and then for Rob to get back. But yes, I made it home. Howdy! Hey, Nayla. Like that little puppy you got there. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you. What do you do when the music stops? What do you do when your plans don't work out? How do you handle, the disappointment that comes from things not working out the way that you want? That's the question of the day. She's a pit bull. Oh, she looks like a sweet little poop. I appreciate that. Oh, dude, it was a hell of an ordeal, Tree Farmer. The whole situation, man. It was like a month-long shenanigans of Groundhog's Day. It was, keep waiting, hurry up and wait, with the car getting fixed and the mechanic. But we finally got everything out of there. We finally got Rob to Georgia, Indiana. We finally got Sally's bathroom fixed. And, now I'm finally home, and I had all these plans for today that didn't work out because my buddy, who was going to be my business partner, had to take a break because he was kind of losing it. which is understandable. So I couldn't just run out there and start this marketing plan and start digging in and getting the ball rolling on painting some houses, because we gotta do this marketing thing together. So I decided to come take care of myself, right? And as Sally says, Sunday should be a day of reflection. And said, came, and naked shall I return. Okay, and said, naked came out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. The Lord gave, and the Lord hence take it away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Well, thank you, Trade Gun. There, Gun. Thank you, Gun. We appreciate it. You're right? We come into this world naked, scared, and crying. I guess the best we can do is to learn a little bit, and hopefully we don't go out the same way, right? But yeah, brother. And we reflected a little bit earlier there, Gun, on the meaning of life. And we got into the talking about what we take with us, man. It's the connections here that we make. That's what we take with us. The only thing that we take with us, the only thing that we have when we leave this world that we didn't have when we got here, was the connections we make. The wisdom that came along from the struggles that we went through, the strength that we gained through learning about ourselves through those struggles there, Gun. We appreciate you and a God of your understanding, brother. Thank you for sharing that. But, I'm getting out of Dodge there, good sirs and madams. I'm going to spend the rest of my night relaxing. Again, I appreciate everybody who decided to come in, all the Turtle Herd members. You decided to subscribe. Welcome to the Turtle Herd. Slow and steady, we weather the burden together here. If you're struggling out there, I'll go back through one of my lives, man. I'm sure there's a topic that'll ring true for you. Listen to some good music. Misled Utopia. Not Go Bear or Sublime. I highly recommend Misled Utopia, my brother. I'm going to install Windows 11. Yee me. Good. We got something to do there, Tree Farmer. Install them windows, brother. Sounds like a pain in the old tuchus, but it's something to do. I'm not too excited about, throwing flyers in driveways and packing like marketing packs with, bullshit, and not really too excited about a bunch of work painting houses between me and a buddy, because it's going to be a lot of work with just me and him. But I'm excited about the sense of pride and acceptance that'll come along from doing all that, man. So I appreciate you being able to come in today and help us find a sense of peace, brother. Fish, I love your face, man. I'm really glad we got a chance to meet. Thank you for expressing yourself today. Sarah, if you're still out there, we're with you. Anybody else out there struggling, just know that you found a place here where you can be open and honest. If you decide to subscribe, become a member of the Turtle Herd. If you decide not to, you're always welcome. But there's a million channels out there, and the fact that you found this one is a blessing. Maybe it's exactly where you need to be, without the maybe. It's exactly where you need to be if you're here with us now. I recommend that you reflect on where you're at and try to do your best to understand that a God of your understanding put you there for a reason. Good, bad, or indifferent, this too shall pass, good sirs and madams. With that being said, I think it's time for me to cut out. I love you guys. I appreciate you deeply. And until the next time, go in through, dig through the channel. Find some cool stuff you like. Comment on some things. Watch Coffee Talk. W, if you're still out there, I love you, brother. You got my number. You can call me anytime, man. Do our best to stay in the solution, man. I know I should probably ring you too. We'll see how the night goes. But yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, the adventure is just beginning. We might feel like we're behind the ball, or there should have been more done today, or whatever. But those shoulda, coulda, woulda's got to be put aside. It's time to let go of all that bullshit. It's time to find passion and purpose in taking care of ourselves first, ourselves, our family, our community. It's time to lean into a God of your understanding and let him drive the bus for a while. So every time I take the wheel, I tend to drive over a cliff, and I'm wondering why, why is everything so painful? Well, there's lessons to be learned, and the first lesson is to let go and to flow with the river of life. The second lesson is to hit that subscribe button, become a member of the Turtle Herd, and find a way to express yourself in an open, honest way if you're struggling. Even stick around for a while. Even if you're not comfortable expressing yourself, maybe we'll be able to help you find a way to do so, which will give us all purpose here at the Turtle Herd. Don't forget, you're loved, and you bring more light and positivity into this world than you could ever imagine. There's somebody out there who's missing you right now. There's somebody out there who wants to be next to you. And whether that be possible or not, let that add value into your day. You're a beautiful person. You're exactly who you need to be. And despite the struggles going on around you, you're learning exactly what you need to learn. To my 49% of brothers and sisters out of the 47 today who are not doing okay, I'm glad that you decided to stop in and express yourself. And know that you're not alone. With that, James, love your face. Enjoy Florida. Tree Farmer, good to see you. Gun, hopefully we'll catch you again. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Nayla, we appreciate you. Hopefully you subscribed and we'll catch you again. You hit that notification bell and you'll hopefully be part of the conversation a little bit more often. W, love your face, man. We'll be chatting soon. I'm off like a herd of turtles.